There we are. Hello, everybody. I'm live. Uh, okay. Bitrate, why are you? There we go. Jeez. Alright. Hello. Yeah, it's been a while. But while I was gone, I did work on something. And by work on, I just completely made something. It was this. Um, ooh, I guess I can zoom out for like a hot second here. Yeah, it's just a cowl. I don't normally make cowls because I find that a lot of patterns tend to make them way too close to the neck and I get super hot. So, yeah, made this cowl. It's a nice pattern. I added, because I was making this so much wider, or looser, I should say, than the pattern, I added black. This is a yarn that came in a knit box that I order, which I can't remember the name of. It's not Knit Crate, though. So yeah, it's a nice pattern. It's just a knit purl. You can see the line. It just goes across diagonal. But yeah, so I did that in the days where I wasn't streaming. But zoom back in. I'll have to figure out where my hands go again. But I think today I was mostly going to work on the peacock bedspread because I really want to work on it. I'd really like to finish it for my dear old grandmother. So, I did do a couple rows of this while not being online, but not a crazy amount. I got distracted by that cowl. So that's definitely what I was working on. More so, I may work on a sweater that I finally ordered yarn for, because it's been it's been a while. And I just got tired of waiting for it to come in. I'll figure out what I'm at. I just got tired of waiting for it to come in. So I finally looked for it online and I found some. And it was a bit of a hassle, but because their payment method was not taking mine, so that was annoying, but got it working. So now I'm just waiting for my yarn to come in. Actually, there. For anyone watching, I do have chat up, so if you want to say something, by all means. If you have any questions, by all means. I will say one thing about streaming. It's really weird seeing the one screen in like real time and then I glance over at Twitch and it's like delayed. I'm like, that looks weird. But I do have to remember that when I'm saying goodbye that I have to wait for the Twitch screen to catch up, because yeah, it definitely cuts off if I'm like bye and then I end the stream. So it'll cut off. I feel a little bit far out. There we go. Yeah, so it'll cut off my last couple seconds of words, and I'm like, I don't want that. I would love to make another sweater of just like purely open mesh. Either like this, or I actually am wearing one that I made. This one. It is very large, but yeah, so this one's like a open mesh. This is actually similar to the lace-up pattern that's in this right here. Come on. Oh, I have to click. It's very similar to this pattern, except instead of having a straight across, it's just it's like alternating. This one's like alternating. Alternating single crochet and double crochet. Yeah, so it goes double crochet, and then on top of it you do a single, and then on top of that it's a double, and you just do that all the way across. It's a very simple pattern, and it's very nice. Oh, there we go. I did make it, unfortunately, a little bit big, so I, on purpose, put it in the dryer. It is just cotton, so it didn't shrink that much. I wouldn't have done that, I probably wouldn't have done that if it was wool, but cotton, I'm definitely gonna put in the dryer, because really, cotton gets so heavy, especially something this big. It gets so heavy when it's wet. And it's the winter, so humidity is through the roof here. It's been raining for the past week, so things don't dry very quickly. Unless I put them like directly under the heater or something. Alright. Getting to the end of this row. This video camera angle is better than the top down, but it's definitely still not exactly what I want. Because I want to do one that's like almost directly over my shoulder. Because I think I mentioned previously, which I'm so sorry, I have not uploaded that yet to YouTube. Just for whatever reason, just hasn't happened yet. So I'll end up uploading pretty much a double video, however long that takes. yeah, so I just completely lost my train of thought. Um, Focus better. There we go. Nope, I missed it. Oh, please. Oh, yes. Video camera angle. Yes, because I tend to have my hands up a lot more often than not when I'm working on anything. So having a top down, that doesn't look great. It's fine. Having a top down doesn't really work amazingly. So 4, 5. Alright. To move this. No! Oh my god. I don't feel like leaning over. I'm just gonna grab a new one because I have another. Oh, I have another green one. They can switch places. Oh, this one is bent a little weird. For some. Don't know how that happened, but whatever. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. I'm on number 4th row. Nice thing about this section is this bottom part is just the same for more than a few rows. So I always end up having so much extra yarn here than I want, but I essentially just don't release any thread and just slowly reel my finger in as I work the yarn until it's an acceptable length from where I'm working, and then I'm like, okay, I can release yarn like normal. Now, oh my god, there we go. I can't let those hairs be woven into the fabric, or else into the piece, or else they will be absolute hell to get out. Ooh, definition. So the other piece that I was talking about that I may work on tonight, it's a sweater, and I'm currently at like the very boring part of the body where you're just solid color doing a stockinette stitch for however long. And the really funny thing that I found when I was ordering the yarn was so I mostly order my yarn through a single website. I don't usually stray from it. I like it. Usually I even buy enough to get my shipping for free. Come on. There you go. And yeah, so as I said, I was waiting for the yarn to get back in stock there, and it was taking forever, so I finally started looking at other places. But the funny thing is, on the website that I order from, the colorway is listed as Lego. So I'm like, okay, cool, find Lego. It's like a bright orange. Um, well, maybe not that bright. It's it's a very nice orange. Like I really like the color. But yeah, so I'm like expecting on all these other websites to find it listed as Lego. No, it is not listed as Lego. Literally everywhere else, including the manufacturer website. It's Manos del Uruguay, and including the manufacturer site lists the color as building block. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Because, you know, Lego, the word is like trademarked and whatnot. But, you know, you look at the color and you're like, oh, I can see that. But I just think it's funny that Yarn Canada decided to list it as Lego instead of literally everywhere else that I found it listed it as building block for the colorway. And I'm just like, okay. It's just funny. Little hairs everywhere, my god. Yeah, I love this yarn. I'm still not going to say it correctly, but the mercerized cotton. I love it, but oh, it definitely is super terrible for collecting hair. I did not move that very far, whatever. Normally I like to move it like super far up here instead of always looking back. Oh my gosh. Instead of looking back to see like what row I'm at. Mm. I am moving a little bit. I don't want to move the camera too much because, like, I just imagine that it'll just, you know, move and then I will never be able to get it into a good location ever again. That's usually how that happens, usually how that works. Yeah, one thing about putting 2 crochet stitches into these 2 chain gaps is that a lot of times how I do it, they like to cross and I really have to like, for some of them, I have to like go in and separate them because they're just a little bit too close. 2. Yeah, I worked on that cowl so hard that the carpal tunnel in my wrist, especially like right, I can feel it like right here. I mean, I still can feel it right now, but yeah, it totally activated that, and I'm like not very happy about it. I mean, can you imagine who would be? Come on. Oh no, my foot is going to sleep. Slight movement. Oh my gosh. And here's the top of the vase. Or actually, it's not a vase, it's a flower pot. Yeah, last time I worked on this, I was actually on a different ball of yarn. Mind you, I only worked on it for like, what, another row? And then I had to get a new ball of yarn. Which, by the way, because I wasn't able to give it previously. Come on. Focus, damn you, thank you. There's the Elizabeth size 20, and there's the color number 652. It's royal blue. So, for anyone curious. I need water. Come on. Jeez. Just the thread of me clicking on it obviously makes it a focus. Move this way up here. Oh my god, my nose is so itchy, like right underneath my glasses. Because there's probably like tiny little cat hairs caught in the nose pads on my glasses. I can't remember if I moved the marker up for my pattern on my paper. Actually, I don't even know if I'm on the right side right now, but I will find out when I get there. Three. Alright. Oh. It's so easy for with such a small hook, it's so easy for the yarn to just like slip off. Or for you just to like completely miss the the bit you need to grab. Luckily, since I changed the microphone, I get to keep my heater on, so that's great. Because my phone, which is what I was using for the audio capture, is literally right next to my heater, so you just hear a constant like wind blowing noise, and that's, not the greatest. But this time I switched it to my headphones that I'm wearing right now, and one, it's great because now even when I'm quietly talking, my headphones pick it up pretty great, and they're actually pretty good at filtering out any background noises. Not that they would need to do it for the fan, because it's really not that loud, but my phone audio definitely was not very good at filtering, so that's okay. So the border, it's the end of another row of border, and now it is the innermost border, which is the lacet part, which, yay, this row is a fun one, because I don't have to do this. I can just do the 5 across, which makes it go by so quickly. It's unbelievable. When the hook actually goes through. Yeah, when I was first starting out this pattern, oh man, I made so many mistakes. Felt like I had to frog like every other row, and a lot of them were in the lacet section, either because I accidentally skipped a single crochet section, either because I accidentally skipped that focus was like a bit of a refusal. Either because I accidentally skipped a single crochet section, or like I did a double crochet instead of like a single crochet. There's a whole host of reasons for that, you look at it and visually you're like, oh gross. Like, where you can see it. Nope. 3, 4, 5. I mean, there have been a few mistakes in this that I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? That's okay. And then I just kept going. Because, yeah, there's some of them that are just so minor that in the overall look, like, unless someone is looking square to square, oh my lord, please, thank you. Unless someone is looking square to square, they really won't find it. So, see how nice and easy that is? I love it. It's fantastic. I enjoy this row immensely when I get to it. because it's just double crochet, chain 5, double crochet, chain 5. Yeah. Yeah, the lace set section actually used to take me a lot longer because uh, instead of just crocheting in this chain space, I used to actually crochet into the chain. So it would be the third stitch on this chain. And I mean, you can see it at a lower section. Once I'm done this, I will show you. But yeah, I realized that I actually liked how it looked better when I just crocheted in the chain space instead of going into the chain, because for whatever reason, like I don't know what it was, but I think doing it in the chain space essentially makes it so that, you know, it gives the single crochet like a little space to like move a little bit to kind of to even out the lacettes, because like there was a couple times where I accidentally did maybe 6 chains instead of 5, and I just lost count. There were 3. All right. 4, 5. Yeah, and then it's like, oh well, there isn't a chain stitch that I can go in that would make it even, essentially. So, I mean, that wasn't the only reason I did stop making those kind of small mistakes for the most part. Focus. There you go. Alright. I did not pull that through. There we go. Right. So here's the double thick border, which I should say the double thick line, I guess. Denoting sorry. It's probably the one bad thing about having my headphones be my main source, because they're right next to me, so coughing and whatnot are so much louder. Okay, so this is with, you can see it here, this is with the single crochet in the chain space, so it essentially wraps around the whole chain. And then way down, nope, not there. Oh, how far down? I changed it not that recently, but I guess recently enough. Or nope, that's still, oh Jesus. Oh, maybe I changed it like much farther back than I thought. Oh, here's one. Okay, where am I? So it doesn't look much different, but all of these, they're just kind of stuck where I put them, essentially. So if there's like a discrepancy at all, because these ones, a little hard to tell, but these ones are in the chain stitch, so I can't move it left, right, or anything. It is stuck there. But yeah, like there's some that kind of look a little winky wonky, but um, but yeah, for the most part, I found that the extra effort of the extra effort of of carefully putting it into a chain stitch was definitely not worth, considering that this does not look much different from from this. Like, it's nearly identical. And a lot of these, if they're not in the center, like when I block this, which I swear I will, and I'll try not to make it take longer than than shortly after I finish. There you go. Yeah, because you see some of them are moved a little bit more to the one side than the others. So that's like the only kind of downside, but for the most part, as long as I do 3 chain and 3 chain, like the pattern, uh they do mostly stay pretty center. Alright, now to figure out which side I'm on this side, and it looks like I did not move it, so I'm gonna do that quickly. Push and push, nice and easy. Oh, there. Good chunk of that was like in the center of the row, and I will do the other one right away because then it just a little bit less that I have to do. Oh. There we go. I'm just gonna actually pull that one down a little bit. There we go. Want to make it as obvious as possible which row I'm on, because it would super suck if my line was off and I just suddenly started working on the next row when I shouldn't be. Onwards. So it's mesh for a good while. Which is a nice easy one. It's much quicker to do mesh than it is where I'm losing them. Just the open mesh bits are much quicker to do. I mean, for obvious reasons. Because chains are very quick. We like chains. Yes, but you also need to be careful that you're not. There was like a mistake that I made where it was open mesh and I accidentally missed out on doing the 2 chains. And this is actually a pretty common mistake that I have made multiple times. And if I'm lucky, it's, come on, if I'm lucky, it's a mistake that I, like say if I found it in this row right here, then it's not a big deal to go, because I'm near the one end, but there have been multiple times where I've found a mistake when I'm at the other end, and I would literally have to take out almost 2 rows to fix it. And depending on what it is, that's not worth it. This is a gift, and it is, I mean, even if it was for myself, but it'd be different if I was like selling this, for sure. I would be like, there must be 0 mistakes, because that's kind of just how I am. But this is a gift, and it's a thought that counts, and I would like to get it to her sooner than later, because it's so small and rows are so long. It takes a good chunk of time just to do a single row, as you can tell. So it's just knowing when to cut your losses, really. Total side note, but I've been contemplating wanting to draw a little bit on stream, but not sure whether I want to do a computer or just like in my sketchbook or something. So that's a thing. There was, for a short time, I was selling things like prints, and I don't know, I may do that again, but I've definitely veered more towards the fibercraft stuff. I probably still will make stickers, because I really like stickers. Well, making stickers, I should say. Stickers are fun, but I never use them. Like, I just don't really, I like them, but I don't use them at all. So, and you should buy things that, you actually use, or if they're things that you display, because that's definitely a bad habit of mine. I have so many prints, but I think well, at the moment, I am not displaying any of them, except one. There's a single one that I'm displaying, but there's nothing on my walls, which I would like to change. My walls need some artwork. The only thing is that I have a very high tendency to want to turn my walls into bookshelves, or just shelves in general, but books are what take up the space. So I see a wall and I'm just like, that would be a great wall for bookshelves. And then I have less and less space to put up artwork and stuff. So it's a bit of a balancing act. And I would love to put up some shelves for the cats because they need more vertical space, to be honest. Because I mean, at night there's 3 of them down here. They don't usually hang out down here during the day. They're upstairs sleeping in their corner. But when it's nighttime and they're down here, because they're Hellions and are not allowed to be upstairs at nighttime. That would bug my mom. But yeah, it would be nice to give them something to jump on and get out of each other's hair. Because I mean, I do have a big window for them to gaze out at, but unfortunately, it's not amazing. So I'd like to put some shelves up, give them a bit more vertical space. Mind you, vertical space in my living area here is not very high. Come on. Yeah, it's not very high. Like my ceiling, I end up touching by accident, and I'm not tall. I am 5 foot nothing. So that just kind of tells you that my ceiling is, I think, it's like 6 feet at its squishiest. It does kind of, get a little bit bigger, but not much. Alright. Yeah, I probably wouldn't suggest anyone who is like over 5'3" to live in this space. Like, it would be so uncomfortable for you. My god, my stomach is just doing things that I don't appreciate. I think I mentioned before, but I'm very thankful that I actually don't need to count much when it comes to this pattern, because there's not very many bits where it's just randomly in thin air, I guess you can say. Like, it almost always has a connection to like another one, like right here. So I need an open mesh one before this one. So it's like I don't really need to count anything except that. Except, just the 3, oh my god. Except just the 3 stitches required for that open mesh beforehand, so that it is the right size. I mean, there have been a couple times where, like, if I did need to count, like, a new dark section was, say, I don't know, 7 stitches from the edge or whatever, then I would have to count that. And I have had to rip out stitches because accidentally did one too far to the right or one too far to the left, and it's like, sigh. But for the most part, not an issue. And nothing, well, I should say nothing that requires extreme ripping out. I think at most it's been like 20 stitches, and that's about it. So, maybe I should reblog that post that I made and add the link to my Twitch. Because you know, people don't want to search. It's so much easier just to have a link to click on. This song sounds incredibly loud, and I feel like it is. Just gonna turn that down a little bit. Jeez. I mean, it's a cool song. I like this one. But definitely a big uptick in volume. I did that weird. Mm, shoop. Yeah, doing this this solid block part, it makes the yarn, well, not the yarn, the whole piece warp a little bit. So I'll definitely have to stretch it out pretty good when I block it to kind of undo that effect. Okay, and this one is just stacked open mesh. No, try that again. As I said, it is very easy for these yarns to just slip right off the hook. A little frustrating when you're mid-stitch, but you know, not the end of the world. Open. And open. Sesame. Alright. There, let you see a little bit. I am right here. I just finished this cube. Right there. A cube. Yeah, so because of where I am, I'm actually reading it from left to right. Whereas I don't know what it is about it, but reading right to left just feels much more natural when reading these kind of patterns. Because a lot of times the right side versus wrong side, the right side will be, in a lot of knitting patterns, you'll be reading it from right to left. So I'm kind of just like used to that now. So anytime I'm on the wrong side row and having to go from left to right, it just feels a little odd. Stop it from being bended a little bit. Stop being shiny. Oh, I know why it feels odd. Oh my god, my brain. It's because I'm constantly working from right to left, so obviously right to left feels correct. So when I'm going the other way on the pattern from left to right, I am still working right to left on the piece because that's the way you do it. I think the only exception to that would probably be mosaic crochet where you're just always working right to left. You don't ever turn the piece, or I should say, you're always on the right side. With mosaic crochet, you do not turn the piece over. I'm not counting properly right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay. 4. 2. And here's like one of those things where you can double check, be like, oh, the next 2 overlap with these 2. They sure do. Everything is right with the world. Mm-hmm. Please go. And then I'm going solid all the way until the middle, which on this I have marked. I do have marked with a purple. It's not like exact, but it helps me know generally when to look up again. And to flip over my paper so I can figure out when's the next open mesh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this camera angle is almost over the shoulder. It's not bad. It helps that my phone camera has a telephoto lens, or a telephoto, what's it called? Zoom function. Because, yeah, the other, it definitely would not have looked so good with any other of my camera settings. I do need to buy a webcam though, if I plan on doing this, more often. But yeah, I'll get an actual web camera up in, and then I won't have to worry about autofocus all the time. I could just have it on manual focus, and I wouldn't have to use a app. And I wouldn't have to do, never mind. Spilling secrets, I must stop. But yeah. Side note, I can't wait for Hades 2 to come out. Oh my gosh. I will probably stream that along with all of the other Hades 2 people streaming. Because, yeah, I imagine that'll be popular. But that's so exciting. I really like Hades. Maybe I'll stream it soon. The keyboard gets very loud when I'm playing though, so I'm unsure whether I will be able to use my headphones for it. Probably not. We'll see. But yeah, it can get quite frantic, especially depending on what weapon you use. Thankfully, my hand does not hurt while doing this. I'd be very upset if it did. But, I mean, if I, like, stop and touch, um, mm, actually, my hand doesn't feel as bad today. Yeah, I'm pretty sure what, set me off, what caused me to flare up, is the fact that, that cowl I worked on had a lot of purls that I had to do normally, like an actual purl. So that is bad news bears for me. Because normally when I have, I know you've seen it with my, when I'm working on my shawl, um, when I have a purl row, or when I'm, you know, maybe if it's like purely purling, um, I I essentially switched to like left-handed knitting, where I don't turn the piece and I just go from left to right. And so I do that because my hand starts to really hurt from purling. And when I do that, when I essentially do the left-handed knitting, my hand position doesn't change from knitting, the knitting position. Because when I'm purling, my finger comes like across, and it just puts like a huge strain on this whole section. So, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there was, in the pattern itself, there was a lot of purl stitches that, it wouldn't have been feasible for me to flip the whole thing to do my left-handed purling for like 5 purls and then flip it back over. Like that would be ludicrous. All right, so 2, and then once I do these 2 more closed boxes, I can flip this over and see whether I immediately have an open one or it's just more closed. Foot is falling asleep again. And by foot, I pretty much mean like my whole leg, but I can't really I can't really put it down because my legs being up are literally what is holding my crochet project on my lap. And okay, there we go. Flip. Look at all this lovely open space. So see, like something like this, I'll have to count that. And obviously I'm going to count from this one because that's less things to count. The less we have to count, the better life is. So, okay, so I'm just continuing with closed until 1 before the edge. Nice and simple. And then, yeah, then it's open until the flower. I'm just going to make sure that I'm on the correct row for this one. And yes, because see this flower? I've done the bottom 2 centers. And then this, I'm doing the top 2 center. So I am on the correct row. And that's pretty much, oh, come on. Okay. And that's pretty much what I do. I am just constantly checking and double checking the pattern, just constantly. Because, God forbid you do something wrong and then you have to go back a whole bunch. I'm not about that life, so I am extra careful. I did used to work on this when I was out working, and I found that I definitely made a bunch of mistakes that I didn't find out until I was on the row above it, and then it was like, ah, crap. How could you not notice that? Because I'm a delivery driver, and I'm waiting for food, and I'm just standing there crocheting stuff as you do. And but the thing is, I'm like hyper focused on my surroundings because I'm waiting for food. Like I'm not focused on the crochet per se. So, yeah, I would do end up doing a lot of like really silly mistakes. One of which being, of course, the for the open mesh doing a double crochet and then immediately doing another double crochet and just forgetting the chain two in between them. So I make a little A instead of a box, a little pyramid. Oh. Mm, 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 mm. But yeah, I don't really take this one out with me to work anymore because it has gotten too big. I only like working on smaller stuff when I'm out working. Um, Stuff that will fit in my bag, which is quite small. Very unobtrusive and small because I don't take it off when I go from like the car to wherever else because that would be a hassle. So I need something small so that I could be in the car with my seatbelt on and like not feel it and be comfortable. Because I did have like when I was carrying around a bigger piece to work on. Come on. When I was when I was carrying around a bigger piece to work on, um, I had a bigger bag and it was like, ugh. Because, I mean, part of the reason is because I don't have pockets. Because, women's fashion and all that jazz. Um, so, like, my wallet and whatever, money and cards and ID and all that stuff, I just keep it on me in my little bag. So when I had a bigger bag, it was a bit of a problem because I no longer wanted it on me because I didn't want to constantly be taking it on and off. Um, and so I'd like end up just leaving it in my car, which is a bit of a problem because I'm in and out of my car so much. I generally don't, and like quickly too. I'm generally in and out of my car quickly and a lot. So I tend not to, lock it. So not great. Not the greatest, so that's why I don't bring bigger projects with me anymore. Or if I do, they stay in the car. And then I just work on them if I have to sit and wait for a call to come to me. Which, happens more often than I like. But even then, I don't always remember to actually work on the thing that I brought. Sometimes I just end up sitting on my phone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go away. I hate these kind of hairs because they're like the magnet hairs, you know? Where the minute you take them off and like blow them away, they're like, and they just magnetize straight back onto your project. It's just like, oh my god. The worst. Okay, and this is only 2. Sometimes if the gap is big enough, when I'm adding like a random, like a new bit, because this is obviously a starting bit of like a twig, stick, branch, whatever. So sometimes if the gap is like too big on any old side, either side, I will like count it in advance and put a marker, because slowly I can quickly count to whatever I need, but slowly counting is very difficult for me because I get distracted extremely easy, and so I lose count very easy. Because, you know, counting every time you do a stitch is great and all, but yeah, so, mental note, I believe it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. So, 1, 2. So I will be doing one here. Oh, great. It's even better if you can see something that lines up. You see where I need to put a solid in? It actually lines up with this, like, very nicely. So you know, when I get to that point, I can be like, oh, there's the row it lines up with. And then at that point I can stop and double check, make sure I'm on the right square. There's me just double and triple checking things. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Excuse me doing a large yawn in y'all's ears. Wow, I'm so proud of my camera today. It's really focusing well. Good. If it like went super out of focus after I said that, I was gonna be very upset. But you know, just in the typical way of like, oh, you brought attention to it. Today is Thursday. I still haven't really decided on a streaming schedule, if I'm gonna do this regularly. I'm not great with schedules. God forbid I have a routine. But probably the most routine of this is gonna be the time that I stream. you know, I like a certain time. Oh, I think I just went over where I was supposed to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. By only one, so you know that's a win in my books. There we go. So here's the beginning of that small branch. I'm sure there will be a flower connected to it somewhere. And then stack and stack. So easy peasy. I really should be like watching something, catching up with things. But I mean, I don't really want to get too distracted. This would be the perfect time to watch Crit Roll, though. I am so unbelievably behind. I haven't watched a single episode of their newest season. I just know the happenings. Oh, I just know what's happening, especially if it's a particularly exciting episode. Because I follow people that talk about it, so I'm not missing out, but I'm totally missing out. Actually, even more so. Well, actually, I can't really listen to it on my right now because it's on my phone. And my phone has a cracked Spotify, but my computer does not. So I don't want to be listening to a podcast and then suddenly be hearing a bunch of ads. So and Spotify doesn't need my money. They have enough. They have lots. I believe in you, camera. Thank you. Belief not wasted. Actually, maybe I should work on my... Because, I mean, my sweater is extremely boring. It's purely just stockinette stitch. Nothing else. Like, I'm not... There's no pattern or anything to see. Like, I'll show you. I'll show it to you. Because it's a very pretty color and I love it dearly. And I can't wait to be finished. The only thing I am slightly leery about it is that I find a lot of sweaters, they go into the armpits like so much, and I hate it. Where, you know, when you put something on and you're like, this does not feel like it fits, and then you like look at the models, if there are any, for from like the pattern creator, and you look at them and you're like, oh no, that is exactly what it's supposed to be feeling like. And it's just unfortunate. I do wish that I had added a few extra rows after the yoke to give myself a little bit more space. Yeah, to give myself a little bit more space. Oh, but I am long. I am so long past that right now. And I definitely am not gonna frog it back unless I'll only do that if oh my gosh, come on. Sorry, I started thinking about something else, which was just adjacent. But yeah, the only thing is that if I decide to go ahead with it, and then I complete my sweater, if I was to go back in and add some more rows after the yoke, I would have to completely redo the sleeves, which, like, I haven't even done them once yet, and I'm mentally cringing. Alright. And this is the last bit. Stamp for the middle pattern section. Hello, hello, come on, thank you. Sometimes the yarns are just like randomly tight, or they're just like in a really awkward position, and the hook just will not grab them just at all. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Personally, I think it happens if I like accidentally switch the direction of when I yarn over, or like grabbing the crochet hook. I don't think it changes much, really. There was like someone who crocheted that just pulled the yarn in like that. Oh my god, don't lose it. Thank you. Where instead of wrapping around the back like that and pulling through, they just did this. Like from the front. And or like, how was it? It was like this. Yeah. And you just like barely their movement, and you pretty much just pulled it through. And I kind of learned how to do that at a reasonable speed. I can't really do it with this because, as I said before, the yarn is a bit too small, and I really need the security of wrapping it around to get it to reliably stay on the hook. Because as you can tell, this hook, what's a good angle? This hook, it doesn't, there we go, kinda. It doesn't overhang very much. Like, it's considering how big the yarn is compared to like the space that's in this hook, it's practically a right angle because the yarn completely fills the space underneath the hook. So yeah. Anyways, go. Oh, but yeah. As I was saying before I so thoroughly distracted myself, I don't know that I'll work on my sweater. I'll show you my sweater. But I don't know that I'll work on it because it is quite boring. We're back in the LASIK bit. It is quite boring to work on. It is just straight up stockinette stitch, and I don't want to bore you too much. I may work on, there's a curtain that I really need to finish. I'm not going to be finishing it today because I actually need to order more yarn for it because it's not quite long enough yet. Oh, I had a viewer for like 5 seconds. An extra viewer. One, 2, 5. But I may work on that one just because it's, it's different colored squares. And I think I can work on something with it. Pretty sure I'm not completely out of, I'm pretty sure I'm not completely out of yarn for it. Oh my god. 5. Alright, and I am getting close to the other side of, clear up some loose little hairs. Close to the other side of the flower pot. Actually, it's flower basket is the proper thing that it's called. It's a flower basket. 4, 5. It's even got a handle and everything. Don't do that. Oh my lord, please. There we go. Sometimes it just wants to slip through, and other times it just like wants to grab every string next to it instead of going through, and I'm like, no. Please just pull through. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd like to do another big crochet thing. Holy sh. My Discord just like scared the crap out of me. Oh my god. still going? Yes, I am still streaming. I actually thought that she was the one viewer, but I guess not. I'm sorry, viewer. I've misjudged you. I've moved a little bit. I'll have to move. I'll scooch back in my chair again. Try and keep my hands somewhat central. Oh, there we go. Yes, I was smart and had my Discord sounds actually set so that they go to my headphones so that, you know, you guys wouldn't hear it. And obviously that was a terrible thing for me to do because it like was somewhat loud in my headphones. But hello. Here we go. And that is the border. So now it's into the flower pot. Basket. It's basket. Jeez. Yay, hello. I have a chatter. So strange. Have questions. I will answer them. Badly. This is the peacock bedspread that I would still love to take a commission from you for. Whenever that happens. Far in the future. Yeah. Do some good colors. Not just solid like this, because I definitely love to do some greens. Don't do that. Oh, please. Yes, this hook is getting a little sad. Well, a little sassy with me. Does not want to grab anything. I should like use a smaller stitch marker. I find these ones so big. They actually kind of block me from seeing just a little bit, but that's okay. It's not like they're difficult to move. Yeah. Oh. As long as the camera keeps focusing, I am so very happy. Because this is definitely the best it has done out of everything. I do not have to constantly click on it to get it to refocus. because that is definitely a pain in the butt. 3. Oh, talking about knitting. Had this really annoying thing happen with a subscription that I get with Interweave Knits. And I hate how they set it up so much. Because if you buy a subscription, like through their phone line or whatever, before you like make an account and you don't, and like not buy it through your account, there's literally no way for them to connect your active subscription with your online account. So if you need to change anything, you pretty much need to call them. And I hate that. I hate that a lot. So I had an issue that I needed to call them and be like, hey, change the credit card. And then it was like, hey, you can attach this to my online account, right? And thinking back, I mean, I can listen to the conversation if I feel like it. But yeah, thinking back, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that the dude said that, it would be connected. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that he may have misunderstood me. Or just, been like, yes, your account. Yes. Your account will be attached. And I'm like, I don't think we're talking about the same account, sir. But whatevs. Can't really do anything about it right now. I probably will. Actually, that's not true. I will call them and just cancel it so that I can take my card and just buy it via online, because there's a slightly better deal online as well, which I specifically did ask and be like, hey, there's a better deal here, I want that. And he's like, yeah, totally, here it is. And I'm like, that's not the same. that is not what I'm asking for. But whatever, dude. I was asking too many questions, apparently. I think I got to the point where he just was like, I just need to finish with this customer, please. I don't want to talk to this person anymore. Get the sale and get them off the phone. As you do. 3. Yeah, if you see random extra movements, that's 100% me whiffing on grabbing a thread. Focus. Oh, it's so close. Click. Clickety click clack, and then you see high definition for like 30 seconds until I start moving my hands, and then the camera doesn't know where to focus anymore until it just gives up. Please. I should paint my nails. They're getting they're not amazing, so I'm not showing you on camera, but they're getting slightly long. How badly can you see it? They are a little dirty. Ignore it. but they're getting a little long. I should paint them. Paint on my nails is nice when they're long. I don't like it as much when they're short. It's like a completely different vibe, you know? Hey Poe, what color are your nails? I kinda like couldn't tell. Were they like a green blue? Oh, wow. Good job, me. Oh, I'm gonna say, is it like, they had glitter though on them, right? Okay, yeah. That's probably what I was seeing. Yeah, I think just in the camera they probably had like that iridescent green going on. I don't know. The mind be making things up all the time. Yeah, I super like the look of acrylic slash uh gels, but yeah, but I definitely could not wear them for myself personally. Oh, great. I think yes, I'm getting to the end of this one. This is the last time where the bottom part is the exact same as everybody else. Then I'll actually have to start paying attention to it again. Oop, there you go. Oh, yeah. Also, the fact that I break nails very easily and unthinkingly. um, so I don't think acrylics or gels would fare very well with me. Because I literally do just smash my hands into things like all the time. In that moment where you know it's a good calcium week when your nails don't break after you like just rammed your hand into the door because you misjudged how far away the doorknob was, which definitely happens to me all the time. Mm-hmm. All right. I've had a few random people pop in for like a minute, and then they're like, oh, is this the kind of stream it is? I'ma just let myself out. I'm like, cool, buddy. Flip. No, I'm not doing it that way. Oh my gosh. move the yarn. There we go. That was many more motions than it needed to be. Just reorientating myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you do, wow, that is very bad. Jeez. Yeah, when you do the turning chain, it sometimes it really likes to twist around. Yeah. Here's where it's slightly different. It's still 1 though, so. But now, instead of 1, I get to do 2 here. Amazing. I believe in you, camera. No, not that long. There we go. I just want to like chug my water, but I do not have enough water to do that. I was not smart. And I did not refill my water bottle before I started. But that's okay. Come on. Hello. I clicked to make you focus. There you go. Sometimes I just wonder like what the camera is trying to focus on. There we go. Because I'm just like, okay, does it have to be in the center? Is it focusing on the last place I clicked? Like, inquiring minds want to know. There you go. Need to make it focus so you can see that sweet, sweet definition. Alright. There. So, instead of 1, I get to do 2. I call this a little bit like the wave bit, because it's just 2 lines that just constantly go, that, I think this is the only time where, oh no, it's still, okay, there, boop, come on, camera, there we go, where they, wow, it's actually almost harder to see when it's in focus. It doesn't have the blur vision. Yeah, so these come up to a point, and then they come back down, and it's always 2 lines, a line of 2, except for when it comes to a point, there's a random, not random, but like it's part of the pattern, but there's a little blip in the middle there for when it comes to a point, but it's almost pretty much always just in a row of 2. It's like a wave. How long? I don't know. I haven't really decided. Usually I stop around 4 o'clock. because that's when my alarm goes off and that's when I feed the cats and feed myself. So I guess that means I would be streaming for another hour and a half or so. But kind of depends on how bored I get with what I'm working on, to be honest. Because even though I'm working on a pattern, sometimes this can feel very, very monotonous. And I know that's definitely something that, people go to knitting and crochet for that meditative monotony of working on something, but unfortunately, that doesn't quite work with me. I do like working on things that are, I mean, this piece is pretty good because other than this part and the lace-set part, every row is unique. So I'm never just sitting here doing rows upon rows of, a single stitch, which I will mention I was doing when you do when you first start this, because the lace-set stitches, you had to make the border, so the lace-set stitches were like, it felt like the border was so large. Open. I almost did a closed square, but it is not. It is open because the base of the vase is done. That great blur of vision. There we go. Anyways, the base of the vase is finished, so I'm going, I think it's, up to here is where it is. Where the next section of it comes out. I really like the basket pattern. Make it kind of, I like it in the sense that I generally don't need to follow a pattern to do it. Okay, sounds good. You may go charge your phone. Have fun with that, being tethered to an electrical socket. I was actually smart this time around and actually plugged my phone in to stream. I think I did last stream as well. Because, the time before that, I had to end the stream because my phone was like, I am turning off in 30 seconds. Because the minute it hits... well, no. It tells me when it gets to 2%, and then it very rapidly gets to, if you don't plug me in now, I'm turning off in 30 seconds. And, that's a bit of a problem. But my phone is plugged in now, so it dying won't be the reason for me suddenly ending the stream. You can count on that. The edge. Move this up, like way up here, because I feel like it. Right. so weird because every time I work on this, it kind of feels like there's no flowers in this basket. Like, it kind of feels like you're just working on the basket always until you start getting to the parts that have flowers. And then you're like, oh, there they are. Because I'm pretty sure there's two squares. There's one here, and then there's another one that I'm about to start doing. I'm pretty sure those are like the flowers. And then there's like a bunch of really random, like just a few little random bits that denote flowers draping over the basket, I suppose. But generally, while you're working on this, you're just like, oh, there's basket, basket, there's the handle for the basket, there's the random square bits, hollow squares, but it's practically all basket, which is fine. It's a very nice basket. We like the basket. 1, 2, 3. Nope, there we go. And back again to a single viewer, which, thank you for being here. I think every time I see that number go up, I should just, out of the blue, mention that I upload to YouTube. Okay, and then here's a random little bit of plant, this single square here. Yeah, with this, actually, with this pattern, with the book, in the book, they actually make a mistake in the book that, FYI, if you decide to find this pattern and work on it yourself, it's in a book called Crochet Lace by, what's her name? Rita Lair. Patterns current. I thought I moved that into my current. I did not. I guess I won't be able to tell you then. Apologies. God, now I just really want to find it now, because that's how that. Crochet. Okay, well, or it's Rita Weiss, I think. Nope. Oh my gosh, like some of this stuff is some of what I have here is, oh, there it is. Yeah, Rita Weiss and Jean Leinhauser. So the book is called Crochet Lace, and it's 2008. So like not that old, but yeah, the pattern in the book, unfortunately. Sorry, let me get my other windows back up. There we go. Yeah, the pattern in the book for this, it's just a big chart. It's essentially this. this I just I took a picture of and blew up so that I could see it clearer. But that's essentially what it is in the book. This is only 2 panels of 4 that is in the book. And I mean, if there's anything wrong with this, I wouldn't know, because I mean it's a picture. Like, I think if there was like a random closed square like somewhere up here, maybe then I'd be like, okay, well that doesn't look right. But otherwise, if there's anything wrong with the peacock itself, I wouldn't know. But there was something wrong with the flower pot border. Did I do a stitch? Yes, I did. Okay. This is why I shouldn't stop doing things mid square. Yeah, so these flower pots are perfectly symmetrical, and they are identical to the other side. And I found that I think on the right hand side, there was like one of the little plant matter bits was in the wrong place, essentially, um, on the one side, on the one half of the flower pots. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. It was a pretty easy fix because, as I said, these flower pots are identical and symmetrical. So a nice easy fix, thankfully. But it's always, because I find even in published books, obviously, I think it happens more often in published books, to be honest, where you will find mistakes because it's pretty costly for to it's pretty costly to do reprints and any little fixes, whereas if you're to say just buying single patterns off of like Ravelry or Etsy, you can mention it to the seller and they can just update the PDF if it's a PDF. I am failing a little bit. 1, 2. I am obviously getting a little bit too distracted. There we go. And this is part of the handle of the flower pots. Mm-mm. Actually, you know what would be a great game to stream? Elden Ring. Because one, I've never played it. It's been sitting on my computer for a while. And I just haven't felt the urge to play it. So that would be a good one. I don't know. I don't find it especially. I don't think it would be. I wouldn't find it especially exciting to watch someone play something that they've, already played before. Because, I mean, that's part of the fun in watching Let's Players. Is because, they don't know what's happening as much as you do. Or, first time reactions, all that jazz. But, I don't know, I think it'd be fun. And I've also never played a Dark Souls game, So that would be something. Like, I'm good at games. I wouldn't call myself amazing or anything. Like, I am proficient enough to not immediately get like frustrated with games, you know? Um, where it's like on normal difficulty, I'm probably fine with most games. But yeah, I've never played a Dark Souls game, so I imagine I may get a little frustrated with it pretty quickly. Um, 2, 3. Alright, this is like, I'm shifting into soup mode here, because literally this is the part where I have the most mistakes. Please, please, focus. There we go. Where it's like either I forget to do a chain, or I accidentally miss a single crochet, or accidentally, it doesn't happen as often, but me accidentally missing a double crochet has definitely happened. Also trying to remember that these are 3 chains, because if I accidentally do 2 or miscount and do 4, when I get to the next row, it is somewhat visible, like it is somewhat obvious that one side isn't the same length as the other, because I'd never have the good fortune to like accidentally do 4 chains for both of them. It would be like 4 and 3. 1, 2. I'm getting really high. There we go. Actually, I'm going to click on this, and maybe that'll keep it. Because I think it like remembers the point that I clicked on to focus, and then it just kind of stays at that point. So pretty much whatever thing is moving within that point, it will try and focus on it. That's what it seems like anyway. Oh, there we go. Jeez. Alright. I still clicked, because I'm pretty sure my theory is correct. But I'm not going to mess with it too much. No. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with it too much. It is staying in focus for most of this. So, or I should say, refocusing when it gets out of focus. But yeah, speaking of mistakes, this is always the section where once I'm done it, I look back over. Only if I'm doing this part. I really don't need to do it for the for when I'm bridging the gap. But for this part, I always go back and look at all of them as a whole to make sure that I didn't mess up anywhere. Because yeah, if I mess up this section, I won't know until I've gone all the way down to the end and come all the way back. So it's that kind of thing where I definitely don't want to come. I definitely don't want a frog, because any mistakes made in the lace set part are so visible. Like, I cannot in good conscience leave it in. So I have definitely like unraveled a row or two just so I could go back and fix it. Yeah, I'll have to like make some bigger things on stream so that people can actually see, you know, what I'm doing with the hook or the needles. Because, I mean, it's fine when I'm not moving, but I imagine it's just a little bit blurry when I'm moving because I'm sorry, I don't move that slowly. As I'm not really in the market to make tutorial videos. If I was, it would be at most it would be a knit along if I was to make my own patterns. If I was to make my own patterns, then yeah, at most it would be a knit along. I don't really see the need to make tutorial videos because, quite frankly, there's already a whole bunch on YouTube for knitting and crochet that I myself look up, to be honest. And, you know, they're not doing anything, or I should say, I'm not doing anything different than what I'm seeing from them, so. So I'd say, there's not really any point in doing that. I understand why a lot of people would, just because if you're already doing something, adding tutorial videos just, you know, it gets new people, yeah, new people subscribing to your channel, which I get, but there's already a plethora of tutorial videos. I do not need to make another one. Probably, actually, no, that would still be knit along type. Uh, like the channels that make antique or vintage patterns. I would probably love to do that. There's a lot of lace. There's a lot of lace type stuff. Oh, I am in the pattern. I have not. So I'm just gonna do a quick look over and, you know, nothing crazy. This one is like, this one almost looks like I accidentally did 4. I don't think so though. I think it's just sitting weirdly. Make sure all my double crochets are where they should be, and all my single crochets where they should be. Great. Looks good. It always looks so weird without that top bar bridging the gap. Stretch. I love how they look after when they're like stretched. They're like little windows. Angry eyes. Little angry eyes going on. Oh, I need to shift. Oh, sorry. Where am I? Let's see, can I stay over here? Okay, I am just gonna be right back, actually. where's my text? Bloop. Oh, where is it? Oh, I've done so many things that my little text has disappeared. Edit. My little be right back sign is like in the void somewhere. Oh, come back, OBS. Come back. Oh my god, where is it? Text transform, no. Oh, that looks great. Alignment. Like literally my text has like disappeared. It is like somewhere off in the ether. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it's there, but it's just not showing up. Why? Outline? No. Okay. No text for anybody, I guess. Because it is not showing up and I super need to go bathroom, so I will be right back. Don't look at me, Bishop, it's not 3. Actually, since I'm up, I'm going to fill my water bottle. So, be right back again. I'm back. I am not going to put my my headphones on right away because I decided to grab something to eat, and I don't want you hearing my obnoxious mouth noises while I'm eating. So having the I mean, obviously they can still hear me, so it's all good. But oh dear, I did my cardinal sin and moved my chair, which is bad because now I'm gonna probably fail at finding myself again. I'm just gonna make that invisible again, I guess. I don't know why my text didn't. Okay. Uh, uh, I'm gonna have to find myself. It's... Yeah, I don't know. Oh wow, I'm like super delayed. Right here? Oh, that's about where my crochet. Bishop, you are gonna get rolled over. Oh my gosh. My cat likes to, when he wants something, he'll just lie down near you. And unfortunately, this is, good for him if, if he wants, if he wants us to notice him. But at the same time, it's terrible because a lot of times he like lies directly in your path. Mm. And what is this Starbucks? That potato is like a little green. I don't appreciate that. I'm trying to move this slightly closer to me. Sorry for all the extra noise, my god. There we go. But I decided to warm up my... Okay, I'm gonna have to... which way? Okay, there we go. Oh, god. I blocked myself off from from my mouse with my headphones. I don't want to move them too much because then you'll really hear it. Oh jeez. Actually was fine. Mostly. Probably the worst thing about getting up to take a break is that I have to... Oh, there we go. I have to find my position again. Because it's... There we go. Back in business. But yeah, the, Yeah, my headphones are... If I'm a little bit quieter, it's because my headphones are now in front of me instead of on my head. Because I don't want you hearing me chewing my food. Because the microphone is very good. and that would be terrible. An absolute travesty. Okay, so I didn't move this yet, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to move the volumes a little bit first before I do that. Yeah. Move them like way up. Because then I won't have to move them for a little while. I will of course do the same to the other side. Okay. So the next row looks like more wing design, and now there's like, and now it's going to be a lot of empty space over here because the branch no longer is here, and all that's up here is just peacock neck. Can't wait until I get up here where it's just rows upon rows of empty mesh, and then, you know, getting back to the bit of plant life that's there. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to move the bobby pins up and out of the way so I don't have to be moving them constantly every time I move a row up. And this is the side we're starting with now. Oh, too far. A little bit more. Not too much. Great. Awesome. So this is the side I'm starting with. My food's in the way. For anyone wondering, it is the breakfast burrito from Starbucks. I had originally bought it during work because I thought I would be, you know, eating it while I was out and about, so I wouldn't have to buy something else for work while I was out. And then I just didn't eat it. I just wasn't that hungry at the time. Alright. I have ketchup, so I don't want to put my pattern in like ketchup. There we go. Alright. Oh, lovely. This long stick is no longer long stick. I gotta finally break it off to the side. Interesting. The stream is a little more zoomed out than the cam pic that I'm looking at, and I don't like that. Zoom. Well, it's a little better, I guess. Yeah, sure. Anyways, moving on. Actually get working on this. Again. So many distractions. I think if I was doing anything like other than knitting, I probably wouldn't feel the need to get up or like have breaks at all, because I'm really bad at that. With games, especially. Oh my god, these hairs drive me crazy. Actually, can I move that up a little bit? Up and to the right. There you go. Yeah, the problem with, yeah, what I'm, the video that I'm looking at and the actual stream feed are different, and I am very annoyed by it. I was like, you can focus more. Alright, so this branch is going a little bit to the left. Definitely something I like about this type of pattern is that there isn't really a wrong side, because you are working on like every row. Okay, another one to the left and then a stack. Because you're essentially working on the pattern at every row, so there is no wrong side. And I like that, because then, you know, you put this on your bed and you're like, you know what, today the peacock is going to look to the left. And then some days you're like, this peacock's going to look to the right. Whatever you wish. I wouldn't be able to, because I'm the one who made it. So I know that the peacock should always be looking to the left, because that's how the pattern looks. And so that's something. That's probably the one downside to making things is that, you know, it's a pattern or whatever you're looking at is kind of no longer up to interpretation, because you know you're the one that made it, so you know the correct, objectively, you know the correct way it should be, you know, used or displayed, or you know, all that stuff. Come on. There you go. So it's like seeing there's this one good post where it's like you see an embroidery hoop, and you know, on the right side it's how everyone sees your piece, and then on the other side it shows all the wrong side and all the, you know, the messy threads at the back, and it's like how the artist sees the piece. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. As the artist, you know where all your mistakes are for the most part. And it can be difficult not to point them out and be like, oh, this part I effed up, and this part made so many mistakes and all that jazz. But you know, thing is, nobody notices that. Which is a great thing to remember. Oh. It's so hard to eat while I'm doing this, because I just never want to take my hands off. I just want to be working on it constantly, so it's just like, so I'm just like looking, every time I look up, I see my food, and I'm like, I should take a bite. And then it's like, oh, well, after this part, or, you know, after this part, or that part, and then it's, why is there suddenly a shadow Oh, my phone is falling. Okay, that makes so much sense. I like how my phone was just slowly sliding. Um, not sure whereabouts my hand. Oh, okay, cool. Good guess for me. But yeah, I literally looked up and was like, "What is that shadow?" It's not like I'm working outside. there are no clouds happening within my house. And yeah. So my phone is, I just have a circle of tape, duct tape, that I just stick my phone to. And it's a music stand that my phone is on. FYI, just wanted to clarify that. But come on. There you go. But I say there you go, and then it immediately unfocused. But so I have it attached to a music stand with just a circle of duct tape. And essentially what started happening is that it slowly was sliding, and part of the camera actually was starting to get obscured by the music stand itself. So that's why it suddenly was getting darker on one side. It's because, oh my god, stop. Because my camera was like a solar eclipse. My camera was slowly getting covered. So I'm glad I noticed, because I'm sure I would have looked up and just been like constantly inching myself in a certain direction without realizing that no, I'm not, changing where my positioning. It's my camera is slowly sliding. So I'm glad I noticed, to be honest. So there's that. But oh, come on. What time is it? It is 3:11 for me, and I will be, I guess, taking another short break in like 50 minutes. So, still a good chunk of time. Please, please, I beg of ye, focus. I don't know why it's being so difficult now. It's probably because I dared to touch it. Okay, so, alright, stack, and then the flowers stack, and this is also stack, and then there's a random one there, which probably continues into the flip side. Continues onto the flip side. But we're not worrying about that right now, because we still have a lot of squares to go before it is pertinent. And I am immediately forgetting. I think everything was stack after this point. Yeah. So no thoughts, head empty. Just closed goes on top of closed, mesh goes on top of mesh. That's what stack means. For anyone that wasn't here last stream, because I kind of explained it. I mean, there's not much to explain. It's just shorthand I use for myself to remember. Um, to remember the row pattern, so I'm not constantly checking the chart, because sometimes it takes a second to find where you are, especially if you've been working on it, and it's not very time effective to be looking at it every couple rows or every couple squares or so. Now I have to remember to like glance up at my camera every so often to make sure it's not slowly sliding off. I'll just need to replace the tape. Get a new bad boy on there. Come on. Like, I can tell it really wants to focus. There we go. Just having a little bit of difficulties. Okay. Sometimes these lo-fi mixes will randomly have people singing in the background or talking, and I have to like stop for a second and be like, okay, am I hearing something from outside? Or is it something else? And a lot of times it's the lo-fi that I'm listening to. There we go. I would love to get more people on here to watch, even if only it's like a work on your in progress projects club. Like, I would love to join a knitting club, but I don't know. I find it a little awkward being in person. To be honest, I like knowing that other people are working on knitting or crochet or art, while I also am working on my thing. And I don't know, being in person just kind of feels like you're being watched a little bit, and I am not appreciative of the feeling. I think streaming is a little bit like, it's interesting to have, a live. Whoa, what was that? Oh, my phone is moving. I like how I could see it. I like how I looked up and I could see it sliding. Oh, it is doing me dirty right now. Come on. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to get up and fix that, apparently. So. Oh. Hold on a second. Hold your horses. Take a bite of my food. I'm gonna grab the duct tape and give it a new circle of tape. Holy shit. Bishop, I swear to God. While I'm fixing this, if you see my desk, no you did not. Ignore it. It is not as messy, but it definitely is not super great. Alright, unstick. Stick that there. Make sure I'm not covering the camera with the stand, which I think I am a little bit. There. Alright. That should be good for today. Yeah, that should be good for today. I shouldn't have to, I should not have to fix it again. I'd be surprised if I did, because I mean, I reused that tape like 3 or 4 times before it started doing this, but I mean, it did get a little messed up. It probably would have lasted longer if I had not let the tape get all twisted up, because that definitely didn't help. Well, you can see I have a couple little, where are they? Little balls hanging off. Alrighty. I'm not ready to put my headphones back on just yet. Still eating. But, okay. Okay. It'd be better if it was too high than too low, because right now it's zoomed in, and it's zoomed in and I can move it down if need be, but I cannot move it up because the zoomed in box is near the top. So, which, just a little bit more, and you get to see the lovely edge of my folding table. Jesus. Alright, so this is what I mean. Zoom box moved. Great. You can do it. I believe in you. Great. There we go. Yeah, so it's like, oh my gosh. Terrible. And of course, when I do that, it's just get myself all out of whack. Whoop. Okay. There we go. Alright, so this is a flower. I'm pretty sure this just goes straight across. Yeah. I can't move it I can't move it down here right now because I don't want to move my headphones again because I know that they make a lot of noise when I touch them. So I'm trying to avoid doing that. And okay, I do need to move this up just a little bit. Because for whatever reason, when I let go of my crochet hook to click, my hands do not stay in the same position that they would if they were working on this piece, and it's very frustrating because then I start working on it again and I'm like, okay, I am still too high or still too low, but it's things you figure out. I think recording physical things that you're doing is probably the hardest thing, because definitely like recording a window on my computer is definitely not as hard because it's not like I need to constantly keep changing the camera position or worrying about focusing, you know, all the small stuff. Also, for anyone wondering why I made such a surprise noise when I got up to fix the camera phone, is because, as I mentioned before, Bishop, my orange cat, was lying right next to my chair, and I wasn't expecting to see him there, so he scared me. And he also definitely got nudged a little bit with my foot. I think in the face. Not hard though. He was just a little like, oh my god. And I was just a little like, oh my god. But that's what he does when he wants something, which he wants to be fed now. It's a little too early. But it is almost feeding time. So yeah. It is almost feeding time, so he is being quite obnoxious right now. Yeah, I'm talking about you, buddy. Yes, thankfully the cats have chilled out quite a bit because I've changed how they get their food because they're not really free fed anymore, because I got a couple Siamese tabbies that just want to eat all the time. Which is unfortunate for my third cat because he tends to eat in bird proportions. And a lot of the times I'm pretty sure that Bishop or Piper definitely ate more than their share, and then Jay was left out a little bit. So now they are no longer free fed, and their dishes are proportioned. So unfortunately for Bishop, his food proportions probably not drastically, but definitely went down a bit. But that was a week ago nope, don't do that. That was a week ago, and thankfully they've settled into it. But oh my god, the first couple days afterwards, Oh, so rough. You would have thought that I was starving them, the way they were acting. And then it's like, oh, okay. Once they realized and figured it out, it was like, oh, okay. Not food all the time, just food sometimes. Hello, other viewer. Welcome. Okay, I am nearing the center. I was not counting stitches at all, but this one is the open mesh. I'm actually gonna count. It's 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. I'll do 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, or 3, 2, 3. And then 4, 2. Yeah, for things like this, you kind of really have to count carefully, because if I'm wrong here, it kind of makes everything off a bit. Okay, let's open. I suddenly can't see. There we go. I almost felt the urge to look up to be like, where is my stitch? Okay, and now I get to flip. And as you can see, it is just random. Oh, try not to do that. It is just random. There's a single, so just a single open crochet, open square, and then back to solids. Which I will need to count again because this row of opens is kind of in the middle of nowhere, so it's not connected to anything else from the previous row, because the previous row is just black. So I will have to count 4 more stitches here before I can do those. Fun. And which makes it like super important that this part was counted correctly before doing this open one. But I guess we'll see. I should be ending like probably on this stitch here, because here's 2 and then there's 2, so we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Just going to move a little. And then 4. 2. 3. The other good way to count, I mean, if you don't feel like counting per square, I guess you could say, is so essentially there's two posts, one of which is always shared by the next one, plus two in the middle. So pretty much to count it, like I needed 4 squares, and they're generally 3. So 3 times 4, 12, plus the 1 post. Or, well, technically it would be, this one would be the extra. I mean, it's very much needed. It's not extra. But, yeah. I tend to ignore the first one. And then just go by 3s. Because I think that works a little bit better counting-wise for me. Instead of, like, counting to, like, 13. And I believe this was 4, maybe it was 5. Oh, I think it's 5 actually. That is 5. But yeah, see, like this one, I know that once I hit two of these guys, I can do 3. So I like when you can just relate to the previous row. It makes it so much easier. Last 2 plus 1, last one stack, and then this one is a plus 1, and then it's just mesh, free mesh all the way. I probably will stop at 4 because I'm definitely getting a little loopy. I'm not tired per se. Mind you, past couple days I have been taking a sleep nap at like midnight, so I would be sleeping at this time normally. And then I wake up around 3:30, 4 o'clock, feed the cats, feed myself, and then like do some computer stuff for a bit. Like spreadsheets, because those are exciting and fun. But also they're work related. Best way to keep the taxes simple and easy to do is have spreadsheets of everything. But anyways, yeah, computer stuff. And then just as the sun is slowly starting to rise, I go back to bed. In like an actual bed. Because normally when I take my nap, my midnight nap, I tend to do it on the couch. So, listening to a Ocarina of Time randomizer. Partially because those tend to run, you know, a decent amount of hours. So, there's a chance that it may still be, you know, on when I wake up. Instead of, you know, my video having ended and my computer just sitting there silent until it, like, until my computer goes to sleep and then my monitor goes to sleep. But I have those settings. They wait quite a bit. So even if I've fallen asleep, even if there's no video playing anymore, my computer doesn't tend to fall asleep, that quick. But I am definitely feeling a little bit the tiredness of not having my midnight nap. Oh, I went through 3 there. That is, give me one of those loops back. Thank you. Alright, so this one is 2 over 2 plus 1. Please go through. Sometimes these stitches are like hard to get into, which is funny considering I'm pretty even tension, as you can see. I'm pretty even tension throughout this entire thing. But yeah, sometimes these loops just don't want to let you in. Might just be going at the wrong angle. Who knows? Not I, that's for sure. I can tell I'm tired because I am definitely... Come on. I'm doing a little bit of loopy rambling. It is just a tiny bit more random than my normal rambling. Try not to blatantly talk to myself so hard. I mean, this entire stream is me talking to myself, but what did I say this was? This one is 1 to the left. 1, stack 1 left. Bit of code. Yeah. On the plus side, I did put something in my stomach, so I'm definitely not as loopy as I normally would be if I was also, like, hungry. Yeah. I'd actually probably, maybe something that I'll stream is me making myself a graphic, I suppose, of, like, technical difficulties, or because generally any issues I have are not with my computer. Not to brag, but my computer is quite good. I made sure of it. I put so much money into it. So, it better be good. But, are you moving a bit? Better not be. Yeah, I think the camera did move a little bit. I'm gonna blame myself for that one though, because I put the loop of tape a different direction. Then yeah. So now instead of the loop being with my phone lengthwise, it is width, and my phone is currently sideways right now. So there's a little bit of play, unfortunately. But you know, one day I will figure out something better. Um, Maybe soon I'll have the camera behind my shoulder. Though mind you, like this is pretty good. This is a lot more zoomed in than what I see, than what is shown. Wonder? Nope, no, not that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Interesting. The screen was just kind of zoomed in. Should be scale to fit. There we go. Okay, so that's actually, now it's closer to what I should be seeing. I think it might have been like scale to fill. No, it was just at a solid 50%. So it was a little zoomed in, I guess. But, I mean, this is, said it before, but I guess this is a pretty good angle. Can actually see what I'm doing. And it's focusing. I still haven't put my headphones back on, and I probably will, because my ears are getting cold. Just a little bit. I don't know why. I am getting cold. My heater is on, but I am getting cold, and it's unfortunate. It's been raining all day today, and I was working in the rain. (7-Eleven) dude called me cute. I was like, huh, okay. I'm like, thanks. I'm just gonna take that compliment and then just talk about car efficiency with you. Because you're talking about, because I have a small little car, a Fiat, and I quite like it. It is a very enjoyable car to drive. The only thing I really don't like about it is that it's just a two-door. Obviously, that's just the model I have. I know they definitely have four-door varieties, maybe of the same, not brand, model of what I have. I have a Fiat 500, and yeah, what's this? Here's a join. Um, for the most part, actually, with this yarn, generally don't notice the joins. They're actually pretty good. There are some yarns that the joins are just like horrendous. Like my grandma was looking at 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 a shawl that I had made, and And like, you know, I have a bit of professional pride in the things I make. Cause you know, I 100% am like, I like invisible joins. Like, I like having it where, you know, if you want to see where I joined a new thread in, you'd have to really look. Like, it would not be super obvious. And so she's looking at this um, shawl, and you know, she's like, "Oh, you need to, you know, have a better method for joining." And I looked at it, and I'm like, because I was like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't, because I believe the shawl was literally just a single ball. Like, I did not join anything with with that shawl, so I was like a little confused. And then I looked, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's the manufacturer." Because it was like it's not a terrible join, but it's very obvious. And these are the it's the I love, first of all, I'm gonna preface this with one, I love the yarn brand. Um, two, I can't say the yarn brand. Um, and I mean say like pronounce. I think it's like sheeps. I just call it sheeps, like sheeps, you know, whatever. Um, and I like using them because I really like their yarn. It's so soft and nice, and and it's cotton for the most part. Like, a lot of stuff they do is cotton, or like cotton acrylic, um, which is great because for certain things, I am sensitive to wool. So, like this big old sweater, this is cotton, 100% cotton, um, and it's very comfy. It's, you know, surprisingly warm. It's pretty thick. It is it is crochet, so it's a little bit thicker than it would be if it was knitted. But yeah. So, like, I'm sensitive to wool, even wool blends. Like, I cannot have any wool socks. I cannot make myself wool socks or like gloves because they're very prickly and I can feel them and they're itchy for me, which is unfortunate, but you know, you learn about that and then you deal with it. But yeah, and I can't remember what the line is called, but it's the big shijit. It's the big um cake that like the ombre, where the it has a nice gradual color change throughout the ball. Like, I love it. All Pretty much all the colors, I love them. They look great. The only problem is that every single time that they go to uh say it's going from like white to gray. So the yarn is made up of, I think, about like 5 or 6 separate yarns, and then to make it a nice ombre that they will place one of those yarns with the new color. So it just gradually gets built into it. The only problem is that every time they trade out one of those yarns for the other, it is the worst join. Like, it's a fluffy disaster, and you can see it from space. It's huge and messy and super fluffy, and next time I work with um next time I work with one of those balls, I'm definitely just gonna cut it myself and then do my magic knot join. that what it's called? I think it's called a magic knot. I do it for this, and I pretty much do it for everything now. But the thing I love about it is that once you pull it tight, you can pretty much cut right on the knot, the loose ends. And I haven't had one come undone on me yet. That may change if I use like a really slick yarn. I could see that happening. But for now, it works perfectly. And yeah, you can cut the yarn like right on the knot pretty much, and it should still be good. That focused and then like immediately went back out of focus. So yeah, so next time I work with Shijip's yarn, I definitely am just going to take all of their joins every time I come across it and just cut it and replace it with my own join, because it's like truly the absolutely worst join you've ever seen in your life. I With one of my shawls, I definitely couldn't tell as much where the manufacturer joins were, but yeah, with the shawl I made for my mom, it's like Jesus. Though the difference is my mom's shawl was knit and my shawl was crochet. So I think it's a little bit easier to hide some of that fluffiness when you're doing crochet versus knitting. Like there's not really anywhere you can hide stuff like that when you're knitting. Um, Pulling things to the back only work until, someone starts wearing your piece, and then it can very easily just get shuffled right back to the front again. So, yeah, I just realized that was the difference because I was trying to remember. I was like, oh, do I remember like my shawl having a bunch of bits sticking out? And no, I don't, because when I was crocheting it, I was definitely grabbing a lot of that fluffy stuff and like pulling it into sections, into stitches to never be seen again. I am getting too high. I'm not getting too high. My phone is sliding again. Well, actually, there you go. I mean, there's a bit of both. My phone, yes, is sliding a little bit. Not as much as it was before, but it is, annoyingly enough. Alright. This is the end of this row of peacock section. And it is 3 to 4. My alarm clock is about to go off because, yet again, I have forgotten to turn it off. So I think I am actually... I started a little bit early today. Around 12:30 for me. And I've been streaming for 3.5 hours, which... Streaming on, like, I am shocked that I stayed with this bedspread for all 3 hours, but hey, I really wanted to work on it today, and even when I stop streaming, I will still work on it, because if I only worked on it while I was streaming, I would never get it done. My grandmother would be underground. She would be in the grave by the time I finish this, so Obviously, I'm gonna work on it off camera. Um, but before I officially sign off, I will show you my. Let me just do this border, and by border, I just mean these two closed squares. One. Okay. And I'm gonna show you my sweater. I hope the color comes through the camera well. Oops. There. There. And then pull on that a little bit so that it has some leeway. Alright, gonna zoom out a bit. So I don't need to. There we go. Alright, so as I said, this is the thing I was working on that I hurt my hand with. And I'm gonna move my food because it has ketchup and I don't want to accidentally stick my sweater in ketchup. Oh, that really looks like my phone is going down. Anyways, this is. Oh, yeah, the color comes through pretty nicely. There you go. So the thing I really like about this, and I'm really glad that I didn't have to. Hold on. Stop. Oh, and I'm really glad I didn't have to find a substitute yarn for this, is because it is hand dyed. I mean, they say it is, and it, the way it comes through, it definitely looks like it. But it has. Sorry for any movement noises. So yeah, you can see there's a slight variation in the yarn. So it's not solid orange. Like it very much is. Oh, you can actually see where I put in a new ball right here. Right here. All across, like there is a straight line of a slightly different orange, which is probably the most interesting thing. But yeah, wow, you can really see it actually right there, right there. Yep, there's a new ball of yarn. Yeah, so this newest ball that I added is a little bit lighter than yeah, is a little bit lighter than my previous balls that I was working with, but I really like this pattern. It's very pretty. I had to frog this twice because yeah, because the amount of space that there was, and at first I wasn't picking up my threads, or my floats I should say. Sorry, I can't remember the name of this pattern right now. It is a free pattern that you can find in Ravelry. And yeah, and I really wanted something that worked really nicely with this blue yarn, because I got this blue yarn in a knit box, I believe. Yeah, this one was from when I was still getting Knit Crate, which I don't anymore because their prices got too expensive for me. So I let them go, and I found something that was Canadian, so I didn't have to pay as much for shipping, or at least shipping was included in the subscription price. But yeah, so And I also wanted to like move to more natural fibers, which is why I like doing cotton. But yeah, unfortunately, I tend to get a lot of wool from there because it's knitting. Everyone yarn and whatnot. Everyone does wool, so I have to find projects that I can wear for myself, or save them for accent like this. Nice accent. It's very pretty. Um, but yeah. So that, and this is going to be a nice long sweater. I'm matching the length with not what I'm wearing now, but one of my favorite sweaters, and it's like 30 inches long. So I haven't measured this recently because I haven't really been working on the bottom bit. Ho ho, the yarn, the needle was trying to escape. Yeah, I haven't really been working on this too much because one, I didn't have. It's not like I have more yarn. I just have this ball that I'm working with. But I kind of started working on it again now since I ordered more yarn. But yeah, I'm glad that I was able to find more of this color from Manos del Uruguay, or Uruguay, um, because yeah, as I said, you can see that it's not a solid color, so anything that I would have added to this would have stood out like a sore thumb. So yeah, and this yarn, the blue stuff, would also have been. Here's the inside. Yeah, so you see the blue stuff. It has flecks of white in it. It has flecks of white in it, and it's kind of hard to find that as well. So it's not like I can just decide to put, you know, blue sleeves on this. Um, hey, any knitters out there, uh, show the inside of your work because sometimes it's great. Like, actually, I actually really like the look of. Well, a lot of times I want to see the inside because, um, there we go. It's not always obvious how someone did something, but yeah. But yeah, I have to do some heavy blocking with this because up here still wants to scrunch, even though I definitely did leave enough space when I did it the third time. So, like these first, like how much of it? I think the first time I frogged it, I was like this far. And then I think the second time I frogged it, I was not very far. I was like only about this far. And then I was like, nope, this isn't working. Need to try that again. And so I did, and came out substantially better, but it's still quite wavy. So I will have to block it or, enjoy its waviness because it looks very interesting when I'm wearing it. But I will block it just because all the, like, unfortunately, yeah, doing all this made it somewhat uneven. Like my stitches, excuse me, my stitches are not very even up here, the orange ones. You can kind of tell, like there's some big gaping ones or some tighter ones. The blue looks great, but yeah, the orange did not want to be very even when I was doing this part. So, oh yeah, it'll be nice when it's done. I don't think the pattern, actually maybe I do have the pattern on my computer. Let me just have a quick look. Patterns, current projects, easy. Those two are gloves, which are actually not current projects right now. Today's leggings, very boring. They are a heather, a jean blue. I'm pretty sure it's been so long since I worked on this that I don't remember. Oh, excuse me. Northern Star sweater? No, that's the big one. Southwood. No. No. Ooh dear. Luvia? No. I think the sweater might be from one of my magazines. I mean, I'll have to figure it out. When I do, I will definitely show you. Look at knit. This is a size 1. Yeah, because if it's not here, then I definitely... Boys. Oh, God. They always start getting a little rowdy when it comes... I know it's not this one. No, I didn't think so. They start acting like they can just eat each other. Bishop? Bishop? Bishop is the coward of all the cats, but he is also the absolute most threatening. Like, it's unbelievable. Okay, I'm not finding it, so I'll save that for later. I think it might be from one of my magazines. So, I mean, I'll need to find it again. Ooh, shoulder. I'll need to find it again to, start working on it again when I get, that yarn in. Sorry for any of the miscellaneous noise that anyone that you heard anytime I touched my headphones. But I think that will be all. So I am going to say goodbye. Thank you for anyone that joined me tonight. Yeah. Oh, I will be putting this on YouTube, of course, along with my other video, and it's only with my last stream, which I never uploaded because I'm a terrible person. But yeah, so this will be going on YouTube. Same username, Dragon Draconis. And that will be all. Hope you all have a good night or good morning.